Joining me now is Anni Cyrus. Look at what Laura Loomer put out today. In today's example of vetting gone wrong, meet Amer Ghalib. Ghalib is the Muslim mayor of Hamtramck, Michigan, and he is the newly appointed ambassador to Kuwait. He was honored by President Trump at the White House iftar the other night, likely because of a vetting failure. Trump was likely only told Ghalib got Muslims to vote for him in 2024, but I doubt he was told about Ghalib's radical Islamic background. Am I the only one shaking my head? Ghalib is not someone who should be granted access to President Trump or honored at the White House, and he honestly shocking that a radical Muslim like Ghalib has even been entered or entertained by the White House, let alone granted an ambassador position. As the mayor of one of the most radical Islamic cities in America, Ghalib himself has been hostile toward Jewish people. He expressed praise for Saddam Hussein and has gone out of his way to create Sharia zones in Hamtramck via his role as mayor. For example, under Ghalib, the Hamtramck City Council passed Resolution 2024-51, declaring support for the boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement. That's against Israel. A pro-Hamas Palestinian-led policy that advocates for the destruction of Israel via economic pressure and isolationist policy toward the Jewish state. On from there. He's also refused to condemn the actions of Hamas after October 7th. In a show of support for the Palestinians after October 7th, Ghalib and the city of Hamtramck approved a resolution to give one of its streets an honorary name in support of Palestinians amid the war between Israel and Hamas. Under Sharia, which Ghalib clearly supports, it's permissible to call for the killing of homosexuals. As mayor of Hamtramck, Ghalib and the Muslim majority city, Hamtramck voted to exclude LGBTQ flags from city property since the Muslim city majority is anti-gay. Well, I have no problem with that one. Sorry. Ghalib has become a Sharia zone. He has become a Sharia zone. It has under him, where life is unbearable for non-Muslims. And she goes on from there, including they're blasting out the prayer, the call to prayer, because over and over. Wait a minute. How did this guy get, it's the vetting. Laura seems to be under the impression now it's just all the bad aides and all the bad vetting around Trump. I'm starting to think some of it's President Trump himself. What say you tonight, Annie?
I say no. Loomer, you're not the only one. But I will say I disagree. This is not vetting goes wrong. I don't know why people still think that somehow somebody's giving bad advice to people. That's not true. I agree with your statement, Brannon. Michigan brought Muslim votes for Trump. And Trump is going to return the favor over and over and over. Amer Ghalib, who, by the way, was born in Yemen, immigrated to America. Since he arrived until today, he has been an anti-Semite, but at the same time, he has never hid his devotion to Islam. He has always been an outspoken Muslim from his campaign to this day. Even though they deleted it and tried to get rid of it, there were comments made by him on his X account, I believe, not just anti-Semitic. I mean, Brannon, this guy literally referred to Jews as monkeys quoting Quran. It's deeper than Loomer likes to call him radical. It's deeper than, just a Muslim guy. He quotes Quran, calling Jews what Quran calls them. This is not, it's just, again, it's returning favors. Now, why would he be qualified for this position? His ties to Islam is the qualification. It's pretty simple. He'll understand all the requirements of what he needs to do as an ambassador to Kuwait. Though a lot of people publicly think Kuwait is this modern Islamic country, it isn't. Not by definition of policy. Kuwait is not some modern Islamic country. So having a devout Muslim who has ran office in a full Muslim, one of the conquered Islamic cities in America, is a plus for him and for the administration. Pretty simple.
Yeah, pretty simple. All right, let's go to a clip. Here's President Trump on his little friend.
In particular, I want to thank two great gentlemen, the mayor of Hamtramck, Michigan. Hamtramck, how are you, Mr. Mayor? And he's done a great job as mayor, and he's done a great job with his support of us. And Mr. Amer, Ghalib, and thank you very much. You was such a tremendous endorsement right at the right time. Your timing was excellent. Thank you very much. And you'll be the next ambassador to Kuwait, and you're going to have a great time with Kuwait. Wonderful people, and it's a great place, so congratulations, really terrific. You're going to love them, and they're going to love you. And they're going to love you. Thank you very much. Congratulations to, as well as the mayor of Dearborn Heights, Mr. Bill Bazzi. Bill, good job, Bill. And Bill actually is going to be the next ambassador to Tunisia, and that's big stuff. Those guys, you're very upwardly mobile. You're doing very well. That's great. You're going to have a tremendous time. Both great countries, and enjoy it.
There you go. There you go, Annie.
There you go. You see, he said it. Brannon, he said it. Thank you for the endorsement. It was very timely. Here's your reward. But here's the question. Who's going to sit in for the two mayors of the two Muslim cities?
Mm. Oh, I'm sure.
Again, remember.
They'll find some other. They'll find some other sheet-wearing moron. I mean, this is what's going on in Dearborn. Listen to what's going on in Dearborn. You heard this?
Not a great.
Yeah. Don't worry, folks. That's just the radicals. Yeah, whatever.
Standing in front of Palestinian flags, radicals. Yes. And just to be sure, it is. It's properly translated.
And here is another guy. Have you seen this one, Annie? Look at this one. Here we go.
I caution you of the days to come. Because
this is the People's Conference for Palestine, folks. Okay? Here you go.
Not be easy. There are people among us today who might not be with us next year at this conference.
Why might they not be with us next year at this point? What might they do? Huh?
They might be governing Gaza.
Or they might
be hanging out with their 72 versions when they blew themselves up on the streets.
That's exactly what I was going to say. They might be with their 72 virgins, and you got there before I could. Oh, my word. Yeah, that's why. Yeah. Okay, let's go back to it. Remember, this is a Palestinian conference.
And this is the reality. Because the liberation struggle requires sacrifice. And I know everyone here is prepared to make that sacrifice.
In May 2024, over 100 organizations gathered for the People's Conference for Palestine in Detroit, Michigan. More than 3,000 activists were in attendance. Speakers celebrated the October 7th massacre, called for resistance against the West, and mapped out a vision for the destruction of America from within.
The Palestinians who came to the United States understood their role immediately upon arrival.
We, the movement for Palestine in North America and across the world, are here to fight until victory.
This violent movement has been growing for decades. It's made up of groups including Within Our Lifetime, Students for Justice in Palestine, the Palestinian Youth Movement, and many others. After the October 7th attacks, anti-Israel groups in America were emboldened. They saw the massacre as an opportunity to intensify hostility toward Jews and America.
When I think about the USF, it should burn! Death to America!
As the movement worked nonstop to legitimize the Hamas attack, the activists openly flaunted their hatred of Jews and Israel through protests, vandalism, encampments, and violent assaults, both in the streets and on college campuses. Flags of terror organizations became commonplace in public spaces.
Long live Hamas! Long live Hamas! I support Hamas! I am Hamas!
We are Hamas! Yes, we're all Hamas!
Activists celebrated the brutality of the October 7th massacre, drawing inspiration from the barbaric acts of terrorism.
It was exhilarating! It was energizing!
Glory to our martyrs, our heroes who made the ultimate sacrifice.
I salute Hamas. A job well done.
On October 7th, Hamas declared war on Israel. On October 8th, their supporters declared war on America.
It is time to bring the war home! It is time to smash this empire!
The goal of the movement is not just to destroy Israel. Their primary target is the U.S. They call America the enemy, the beast, or simply empire.
We're in the belly of the beast. We are in the heart of U.S. empire.
We are here in the belly of the insatiable imperial beast.
Here in North America, in the U.S., the belly of the beast, the heart of empire.
We have to bring down this empire with 1 million cuts.
We will be hitting empire where it hurts most. Bring empire to its knees.
Dismantling the heart of empire is not easy, and it won't be rapid. But we know it's possible.
This panel, y'all, is talking about what is next. To strike at the heart of empire.
The Palestinian American pro-terror movement uses the word resistance as a euphemism for violence. And that resistance is to be accomplished by any means necessary.
We will resist by any, all means necessary. All means necessary.
The resistance, in all its forms.
Resistance, including armed resistance.
Normalized armed struggle.
They are not terrorists, they are freedom fighters.
Our noble, steadfast resistance.
Conference speakers outlined their strategy for bringing the war home.
I believe our fundamental role is to generate political and social crisis within the American ruling class. Mass mobilizations is the primary tactic. Street shutdowns, bridge and train shutdowns, airport caravans and shutdowns, encampments, building takeovers, targeting of weapons manufacturers, shutting down events.
We will be here in the streets, on our campuses, in our classrooms, in our workplaces every day.
We have made the situation untenable for the empire's ruling classes and the political establishment.
They have created a disruptive movement made up of students and faculty, turning young minds into anti-American extremists.
Our movement has helped transform students into revolutionaries.
Iran, Hezbollah, Hamas, and other factions that fight American hegemony in the region. People who are 18 and 19 years old on campuses truly understand these ideas now.
Protesters target cultural and historical landmarks, seeking to destabilize the foundations of American society. They are openly hostile to law enforcement and engage in violent opposition toward the police. The influence of these organizations isn't limited to universities and public spaces. They've even reached the halls of Congress.
Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib.
We're gonna move Congress, and we're gonna move the White House. We're not going anywhere. Free, free Palestine!
The influence of these violent groups is growing, and they are working towards their goal of dismantling America.
Our struggle is a long struggle, and one that stands on the shoulders of thousands of martyrs and thousands of fighters who have committed and who are committing their lives to lay the ground for the revolution we see ahead of us today.
Gaza tells us to escalate for it. That can mean so many different things, but what I will tell you is we need to start sacrificing.
The threat of violence is not theoretical. In this war of resistance, all Americans are potential targets.
Genocide! Genocide!
These organizations are determined to achieve their revolution, whatever the cost, by any means necessary.
Resistance, by any means necessary.
If the enemy refuses to die, it must be killed.
There is only one solution!
The Palestinian diaspora in North America
has committed its martyrs for this cause.
Students have brought the war home.
It is either victory or death.
Either victory or death.
They're losing their ability to control us. And this means that now the gloves are off. And quite frankly, anything is possible.
Well, there you go. And that's the Marxists and the Islamists, the red-green axis, Annie.
Did it mention that which organization put this event together, this conference together?
It was called the
American Muslims for Palestine.
People's Conference for Palestine, right?
No, but the organization that put the People's
the American
Conference
Muslims for
together
Palestine, yes.
I'm just going to say this. This organization was established in 2006, Brannon. Coincidence?
No.
Exactly. This organization was established in 2006. There are watch groups that are watching this organization. Taher Herzallah, the bald guy who starts in the dramatic, some of us may not be here next time.
Yeah.
He is the director, he's the boss of that organization. He's the one who started the narrative that United States of America, just like Canada, should issue a arrest warrant for Bibi Netanyahu. And here's where it gets more interesting. Any organization, anybody who has tried to dig into his information, you don't find a year, day, month, or place of birth for this guy. The only thing you find is he grew up somewhere in California. Why? Why is this person so secret? Is he an immigrant? Is he American born? Is he a citizen? Who is he? Why is he the boss? Why does he have the money to put this conference together? In 2024, supposedly based on their own record, they had $1.6 million revenue and their cost was $1.3 million. Where are they getting their money? There is no trace of who's paying, where the money and donation is coming from, and not their care right in front of us. And what do? We give Hamas every day, we give them an extra day to rebuild their soldiers, to recruit more killers, to send those 250 convicted jihadists into our country. And thankfully, nobody even can say we're crazy for saying this, because we just arrested a planner and involved soldier of October 7th here in Louisiana. So that's very possible.
Well, and I wonder how many of those kids will become terrorists, as Alan Dershowitz said. Many of these college students will become terrorists, is what he said. Some of these college students will become terrorists, and you just heard some of them say things that lead you to believe they're willing to go do some of these things, acts of violence, right? Based on what we just heard them say.
Yeah, they will become. It's the same question of how many Palestinian kids are going to join Hamas. Every single one of them. They did on October 7th. You saw teenagers stealing things from Jewish homes while the people on the floor were still bleeding. I'm sorry, this cult starts from the moment you're born. The moment you're born, it doesn't matter where you're born. Your dad or your granddad will say Allahu Akbar in your ear, and that starts right there. And number one priority of a Muslim is to hate Jews and kill Jews. And then those who support Jews. That's us. Now they have apparently brought the war home. Isn't it funny? They call America home, but they scream Free Palestine. By the way, did you catch Rashida Tlaib saying what I've been trying to tell everyone to pay attention to? He did not say Free Palestine. He said Free Palestine. If you go back and play that 5 seconds of her behind the microphone, you hear her saying Free Palestine, not Palestine.
I got a video to play for you, another one. This is a pastor in Nigeria. They're slaughtering the Christians. The Muslims are slaughtering the Christians in Nigeria. His accent's thick, I know, folks, but listen to this pastor literally standing in the grave of these murdered Christians.
I'm tired to be outside performing prayer every day. And they expect us to silence. Now, it's an order. Nigerian government came out openly and denied there is no massacre, there is no genocide of Christians in Nigeria. And look at it today. Is there any Muslim here? United Nations, I know you're watching it. American Senate, you are watching what I'm doing, I'm saying here. Special advisor to Trump. Now, please tell Trump to save our life in Nigeria. They are killing Christians in Nigeria, massacre Christians. If they say they kill Muslims, his Muslims are being killed. By who? By Muslims.
Wow. Annie?
Well, as hard as it is for me to say, but my brother in Christ, Trump is too busy saving Muslim lives. He doesn't have time to save Christian lives. We don't have the gold, we don't have the caviar, saffron, opium, or oil to offer him. So our lives don't matter. He's busy saving Muslims' lives. So don't hold your breath.
Because they have the money.
They have the gem, whatever gem you call. They have the crown to give him. They have the lands to give him, the oil and the gold and the, you name it. You know, Middle East is filled and it's owned by Muslims. So yes, Nigeria doesn't have much to give Trump. But hey, he does deserve that peace prize. Remember that.
What's the other things you've been reporting on over at your Substack this week? Anything else?
Yes, a very important piece that will be coming out within the next day or two, but I actually have the 24 pages printed right here in front of me, Brannon. Today, the International Court of Justice of UN concluded on their case against Israel. The topic of this case was obligations of Israel in relation to the presence and activities of the United Nations, other international organizations, and third states in and in relation to the occupied Palestinian territories. And as you can imagine, found guilty on all counts. They called Israel occupier. They told Israel they need to let all aid coming regardless. They said Israel has not been able to prove their case against UNRWA. Therefore, Israel shall continue allowing UNRWA do whatever they want to do.
Which is the UN group in Gaza that had the students celebrating. Some of their students took part in October 7th massacre of Jews, and UNRWA was storing weapons and I think even hiding out some of the hostages.
Yes,
in their
and
building.
UNRWA is also the organization that has been accused, as they would phrase it on their letter, but proven to also allow some of the aid trucks to be hijacked by Hamas for Hamas soldiers. So I will write on this. I will give the recap, but I strongly suggest everybody, this is easy to find. Just look up October 2025 case of UN on Israel. Read the 24 pages. Brannon, it is so disgusting. The way they phrased everything, if it wasn't me and you, I would be out there joining these Palestinian students too.
Because they're making it so one-sided and full of lies.
One-sided and fluffed up with lies. There is a section on page 4 that when I read, I couldn't. I'm like, how? They noted that October 7th has happened, but here's how they noted it. They said, we note that on October 7, 2023, Hamas and other armed groups in Gaza Strip coordinated an attack on Israel, resulting in death of 1,200 people and taken 251 hostages, of many whom are still being held hostage after 2 years. After that attack, Israel coordinated a mass military attack on Gaza Strip, causing casualties such as death of civilians. When it's to Israel, it's just people, right? But for Gaza, it was civilians, including many women and children. But no talk of who the 251 hostages were. No talk of the burned babies in Israel. None of that. When it came to Israel, it was like literally 2 lines of what Hamas did, calling them Hamas and other armed groups. Not terrorists, not jihadists, just armed groups. And then the following paragraph explaining the barbaric counterattack by Israel. The paragraph had 8.5 lines. And this is exactly why we need to focus on UN more, instead of just saying, oh, UN is a joke, UN is a joke. Guess what? This very joke holds a lot of power, and it's holding a lot of power because our tax dollar is funding it. What happened to America first? Why are you not putting pressure on Trump to stop funding UN, to stop funding Taliban, to stop funding Lebanon? Why are we not putting pressure on him to do that? UN literally painted Israel as this monster in this 24-page document today that when I read through it, I caught myself a few times choked up thinking, I am tired on behalf of people of Israel.
Well, I wasn't going to play all these clips, but I think I have to play them now because they fit with our conversation, because we have to offset all the lies and the propaganda. So if you have a young student, a young adult in your life who's believing all the lies, consider 2 videos. Here's one. Watch this.
There is no two-state solution on the table anymore. Hamas destroyed it on October the 7th, 2023, because the Palestinians were given a de facto state in 2005 when not only every Jew, every Jewish body was removed from the Gaza. And they had 18 years, the life of a child to the end of their formal education. They had 18 years. And what did they do with it? Rockets, war, stealing of vast amounts of wealth. And then October the 7th. So anyone who thinks that if you give them another go, everything will be right, is demonstrating, signaling, blaring out their ignorance.
But yet most Americans don't know what he just said. Most Americans don't know this. So how most American pastors don't know this. So how do we expect our children and young adults to know this?
And did anyone send this video to President Trump? I'm not trying to pick on him. He has created the scenario when I have no choice but to pick on him. Every single day on his Truth Social, he's talking tough to Hamas. Disarm or yada yada. Do this or yada. When? This morning, IDF, I think, either IDF, one of the Jewish government websites announced that they know for a fact that Hamas is a standing 20,000 strong man, all armed. On October 7th, they were 40,000. Now they're 20,000. And then IRGC came out on Monday and announced that we are sending manpower to both Houthis and Hamas. I think by now they have arrived. If not, they will in next couple of days.
So in other words, this is the, what is it called? The Humda? Is that what you guys called it?
Hudna.
Thank you. Hudna. Where you agree to a peace treaty till you get resupplied and rearmed.
Exactly. And here's where Hudna repeats itself. Maybe that's one of the reasons I'm very not okay today, Brannon. This morning, Grossi, the boss of nuclear agency, put out an announcement. You know what he said? If Iran continues in the speed it's continuing right now, they will have enough enrichment for 10 nuclear weapons. What happened to the victory dance? What happened to the B-2s we dropped and it's over? Didn't Trump just 2 days ago saying Iran's not going to continue building or enriching? They are getting close to have enough material to build 10 nuclear bombs. And Trump is doing the same thing he's doing with Hamas, he's doing with Hezbollah, he's doing with Qatar, he's doing with Turkey, buying them time. Remember, saving Muslim lives during Hamas deal was not the first time. The first time of his second term was saving Khamenei in Iran, pretending to drop those B-2s and achieving something instead of just costing us money and then buying another ceasefire for the mullahs. That is something that I will not let people forget, because when I came out and said we did not even make a dent in their nuclear facility nor their programming, everybody screamed at me. Today, the agency confirmed what I've been saying since July. Iran, the mullahs, the very mullah that he proudly saved his life, he came out yesterday after disappearing for 6 weeks from cameras. He came out yesterday saying, well, we all know Trump is a blabbermouth and he wants to tell everybody he took away all of our achievement and all of our enrichment, but go ask the agency. And this morning, agency put out the release. We're being laughed at by Khamenei at this point, Brannon.
We are. And if you were writing all of this into a movie, the president that has called Erdogan a strong man, a good man,
Great leader.
The one that is called the president of Syria a good-looking guy, he is appointing these Islamists to ambassadorships, putting convicted jihadists on the Faith Diversity Board, letting Qatar have a facility on Idaho. This, if I were writing this into a movie, the plot twist would be that you would end up seeing multiple mushroom clouds in major American cities from the nuclear weapons that were developed and brought in as nuclear suitcases. And then you have the American people asking how this happened. Here we are, and continuing to try to warn, and Sarah Adams and others keep warning that we are accelerating toward an October 7th style attack in our own country. And apparently, if and when that day happens, you have plenty of young people from the clips we just saw that are already being told, some of you may not be here. I have to wonder, is that because you take part in such events?
Yes, they will. They are ready. I have said this for 10 years. The comprehension of the commitment of a Muslim to jihad is not tangibly possible for an American or a Westerner altogether. Mm-hmm. You can't comprehend. I have watched in person at a school, I have watched the commitment of a Muslim to jihad, man or woman, boy or girl. I watched it. I watched the morning march on the streets of, they have no problem. They would love to be shaheeds, martyrs. Their commitment is beyond anything we can comprehend. And that's exactly why they're ahead.
Well, I want to play one more.
Trump is still thinking he can buy them out.
Mm-hmm.
And no,
do
Trump,
a deal.
Their commitment. Mm-hmm.
Do a deal.
Yeah.
I think he thinks that their love of money is equal to his, and that money will overcome the differences. But he doesn't understand here's a funny thing. It's not funny when I think about it, but this is, off the cuff. Here he is saying, I don't think I'm going to make it to heaven. I just don't think I'm going to make it. Here's the Muslim saying, we're going to carry out jihad so we do make it to heaven. Trump said, I'm not going to make it, so I'm surrendering that idea. The jihadists are like, no, we're not surrendering that idea. We're going to go full on jihad so we make it to heaven. And he's over here thinking money is what makes the world go round, and that everybody will fall in line if there's enough money put on the table for the deal. And the jihadis are over here saying, no, we got plenty of money. We're using our money to carry out jihad so that we can get to heaven when you've already surrendered your quest for your heaven. It's kind of ironic, isn't it?
Right. And you have one of the Friday prayers in Iran from Ghazvin saying, Trump, you're not going to make it to heaven because you're too greedy. He literally said that on Friday prayer.
That's the leader of Iran mocking Trump.
No, this is one of the Friday prayer imams in Iran.
Okay.
Oh, we're being mocked from every level in Iran.
Well, tell me more about the president of Iran or the supreme leader of Iran mocking Trump. He's out on social media doing that, isn't he?
Oh, yes. He came out 6 weeks. He was posting, but he wasn't on camera, but he decided to do a speech. He sat down. And of course, the normal stuff that he does with reading the Quran and all that. But he started zooming in on, first of all, how he's proud of our Hamas brothers for, not standing the ceasefire and standing their grounds and pushing the Israeli soldiers out. Then he followed with Trump. Everybody knows Trump is not succeeding in this deal because he's a blabbermouth who will say whatever it takes to make himself important, including claiming that his B-2s destroyed our progress and facilities of nuclear. Ha ha ha. He literally giggled, his own very evil way of giggle, like Kamala Harris. He giggled, is like, well, you'll hear soon from the agency on the reports, which now our contract with agency also expired, which it did, by the way, early October. The original 2015 agreement was over. It was expired. And Trump couldn't get them back on the table. Anyways, point is, they're not even under those obligations anymore. It's done. So he brought that up saying, we're under no obligation. He can tell his people whatever he wants to tell them, but the agency will tell the world how much progress we have made since his B-2 bombs dropped on
and they're saying he has enough soon for 10 nuclear weapons.
And Grossi this morning reported that if they go with this speed they're going now, let's translate this. Brannon, when Grossi said if they continue with this speed they've been going, that means since 12 days war until today, doesn't it? Then they will soon, he said very soon, they will very soon have enough material to build 10 nuclear bombs. Since June, end of June, June 24th, I think is when he got the ceasefire. Sorry, July 24th. No, June 24th. Until today, he kept telling American people, we abolished their facility. They're never going to resume building. If they start, we do something. They already did it. It's done.
And he couldn't get to it if they wanted to because it's so deep in the ground, right?
Exactly. At this point, they can't. I reported on Golan Mountain, July 26th, 24th, something. I said, heads up, watch out. This mountain's coming up. They already moved the missing 400 plus kilograms of enriched uranium. Of course, I got attacked by everybody saying you just want to, bury Trump's achievement. But then finally, agency came out and said it. And then our own government a week ago came out saying we have evidence to know they moved the missing enrichment into Golan Mountain. And there is no such a technology as of today to even try, let alone reach that area. Another big, huge, historic mistake by Trump that got cheered by Americans when he became the president of peace or peace president. He should have let Israel finish the mullahs. I said it on your show repeatedly. We don't need to take out the nuclear facilities. The new government is going to use it. Let it be. Let them finish the regime.
You did. You did. You sure did. Yep. All right.
And side note, to this day, President Trump has not answered the phone call, email, and letters of the late King of Iran's son, Prince Pahlavi. Just for anybody who thinks Trump knows what he's doing, you're right. He is going to keep the mullahs. But when I published an article saying when Trump played Carter's game, you all got upset. Carter put them in place. Trump is going to keep them in place.
I want to go to one last clip tonight. Again, this is that second video I referred to that we need to make sure we're sharing with our young people to offset all the lies, all the propaganda, including the many, many pages now from the UN about Israel. Here's the latest. This is 4 minutes. It's 4 minutes and 8 seconds. And boy, is it important information.
This debate is about racism and creating a double standard where you make an exception for the Jews. Now, you don't have to support Zionism, but if you are anti-Zionist, If you are against the Jews having a state, you are against the Jews. Mehdi Hassan is lying about what Zionism is in an attempt to win this debate and to provide cover for his own anti-Semitism. We usually hear a series of lies spewed by anti-Semites and anti-Zionists in an attempt to justify their anti-Zionism, and these are the modern blood libel. They are widely believed as the ancient blood libel, that Jews killed Christian children to use their blood for religious ritual, as widely believed and as false. I'm going to take you through 4 blood libels that anti-Zionists rely on. Number 1, the libel of colonialism. Israel is the ultimate decolonization success story. Against all odds, after Arab imperialism, Islamic conquest, and British colonialism, the Jews indigenous to Judea re-established Israel. My family lived under Ottoman and then British colonialism in Jerusalem long before Yasser Arafat, who was born in Cairo, created Palestinian national identity in the 60s. Number 2, the libel of ethnic cleansing. In 1948, when 5 Arab armies and the local Arab population attacked the fledgling state of Israel with the stated intention of annihilating its people, 700,000 Arabs escaped the fighting. Those that remained became Israeli citizens. The Arab population of Israel has increased tenfold. This is ethnic cleansing? No. Ethnic cleansing is what happened to the Jews in 1948 when Jordan occupied the West Bank. Ethnic cleansing is what happened to 850,000 Jews expelled from Yemen, Algeria, Egypt, Morocco, Syria, Lebanon, and Iraq, where they'd lived for thousands of years. Ethnic cleansing left Arab countries Jew-free. Meanwhile, 2 million Arabs live in Israel today. Number 3, the libel of apartheid, because those Arabs that remained in Israel are now 20% of its population, the only free Arabs in the Middle East. They are represented in every area of Israeli society as mayors, army officers, police commanders, members of parliament and the Supreme Court. I served under Salim Gibran, who put both an Israeli prime minister and a president in jail. And those who propagate the lie of apartheid seek to conflate Arab citizens of Israel with Arabs living under the Palestinian Authority, who have an autonomy and should be voting for their leadership. But President Mahmoud Abbas is now in his 19th year of his 4-year term. Number 4, the libel of genocide, the reprehensible smear that maliciously accuses the Jews of perpetrating the very crimes committed against them. October 7 was the latest in a long history of genocidal acts by Arabs against Jews in the Middle East. The genocide libel inverts reality. Hamas has spent 16 years embedding its terror infrastructure in mosques, schools, hospitals, and every second house. Its central military tactic is to use civilians as human shields. And in the face of these unprecedented challenges, the IDF has taken greater measures to prevent civilian casualties than any other army in history, far exceeding the requirements of international law. Genocide is the latest modern blood libel that anti-Semites use to justify their anti-Zionism. And it is central to Hamas's war strategy. Today, its only aim is to survive, and to achieve this with international pressure on the Jews to cease their self-defense. Voting for the opposition supports Hamas in this endeavor by legitimizing, aiding, and abetting their anti-Zionist aim to wipe out the Jews from the river to the sea. Don't stand with the terrorists and anti-Semites. Stand on the side of moral integrity. Stand with the proposition.
Wow. That was a powerful 4 minutes and 8 seconds. Closing comment, Annie.
Absolutely powerful, factual, not touching emotion, sticking with facts. Wow, that was powerful. Good for her. And I hope people do listen. Because one thing that I have come to discover that I will work on, Brannon, did you know there is no such a race as Arab in general? And did you also know that the 14 countries that exist in Middle East, not Asia, Middle East. By the way, you see people, there are 14 countries in Middle East. Making peace between Gaza and Israel is not a peace in Middle East. You got to make peace between all 14 countries, but that's besides the point. 13 out of 14 countries are Islamic countries. There's one Israel in front of them. However, 9 of those 13 countries were created by UK, France, and US since 1920 until today.
We're going to have to do more on this. Annie, the number of people doing broadcasts like you and I do is shrinking here in America. True?
False. They never existed to shrink. As Andy Wood says on one of your great ads, you're the only act in town. I mean it. I'm not saying that because I'm on air with you. I've said it on my own show, on other shows. Name the last time since October 7th until today. The last time anyone who consistently did this, updates, facts, updates, experts, it didn't exist to shrink. I'm sorry, you have at least from October 7th until today, you, me, and your guests such as Sharon Hadian, Usama Dakdok, Andy Woods, Rob Lindstedt, and all, is the only game in town. Everybody chose to either choose silent or become an anti-Semite since October 7th.
Well, I do feel like our network is unique, and one reason why is because we are one of the few, now you pretty much say the only network that's out here doing this, and it's true. And I just wanted to bring that up because end of the year's giving is so important for November, December. I want to plug your studio, but before I plug your studio, I want to plug our foundation. Because folks, if here we are trying to give you information, this show will go back up tomorrow, and you can grab these 2 videos that we just played. And your young people should watch that, 1 minute and 4 seconds by the one gentleman talking about, hey, they had their time in 2005 to have a Palestinian state for 18 years and they destroyed it. And then this woman's 4 minutes and 8 seconds. So you're talking about 5.5 minutes, around 5.5 minutes of hard truth that your pastor likely doesn't know. And if he does, he won't repeat it, because it's a matter of nickels and noses. A few of you do, but most of you don't have pastors that will touch this, much less do they know it. If they do know it, they won't touch it. Only a few. And then we have those in our church pews who don't know this. And then our young people. And it's dependent upon us to tell our young people. So we're doing our best, folks, to give you resources, to resource you. And so we need your support. Worldviewfoundation.com, worldviewfoundation.com. Now, Annie,
can I add something before you? I'm going to do my own plea to your audience. Well, as you know, I'm part of the Brown House Life family. I've been here for a while.
That's right.
But here's an extra reason for you to, give as end of the year giving to Brannon's Foundation. In 2018, I was very popular. I was invited everywhere from shows to events to speaking engagements. And that is the year Brannon reached out to me through Phil Haney to bring me to Tennessee to do the documentary, The Siege. 2019, things slowed down. 2020, I became very unpopular. 2021, I became Islamophobe. On and on and on. I have dropped. Nobody invites me for their show or radio or speaking engagement anymore. Brannon never dropped me. Brannon never called me to say, listen, I can't have you on my show if you continue criticizing Trump's actions. I cannot have you on my show if you keep coming on and saying there is no radical Islam, there's just Islam. He continuously gave me a platform, and then later on he brought my own show to his network, risking I say the things I say. So when you fund his foundation and he can continue funding his own network, including my show, you're also giving another truth teller who's been through it a voice. So don't look at it just supporting Brannon. When you support Brannon's foundation, you're supporting me, you're supporting Tamara Scott, you're supporting Andy Woods, you're supporting Patrick Woods, Aaron Lavarco. You're supporting a lot more people. Why? Because Brannon is not some greedy, arrogant man and say, okay, this is all mine. You all go figure out your own thing. He's been enabling a lot of voices. Just remember that when you go to the website to make a donation.
Well, very kind of you. Thank you. Thank you, Annie. And I want to highlight your Live Up to Freedom studio, lutfstudio.com, LUTFstudio.com. You can get a lot of great Christmas gifts here. And this helps Annie do the work and the research, okay? So this helps her have the funding. She can either go work somewhere, wait tables at a nice upscale restaurant or somewhere else, or she could go out and work in her studio and make these great items and then offer them for sale in the free market and use that as her livelihood to support herself so she can live and spend hours doing research where she could go out and get someone to pay her to do a job. Well, she needs to stay in her office and do this work and this research to bring to us. So she is an entrepreneur. She's a tent maker, if you will, like the Apostle Paul was. So here you go. You can do this, buy some great gifts for Christmas and support her at the same time. LUTFstudio.com, LUTFstudio.com. Anything you want to say about this before you go?
Yes, we are running a 30% off Christmas sale across the store. So you get various special discounts if you purchase now. And another thing is, I'm sorry, some of you wrote me saying, I added it to my cart. I came back a few days later. It's not there. Can you remake them? These are genuinely one of a kind. If I even try to remake them, it's impossible. So if you like them, go ahead and check them out, pick them up, or if they're gone, they're gone.
There you go. LUTFstudio.com. Thank you, Annie.
Absolutely. Thank you, Brannon. Be safe.
Thank you for supporting both Annie and us. All right. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Brannon Howse. I want to thank you for all your support at WVWFoundation.com that helps make possible pushing out 24/7 content for free. Without your support, we'd have to put it all behind a paywall. But thanks to you and your support through our foundation, we're able to push it out for free as a broadcast service and broadcast ministry of WVW Foundation. Please consider going there and setting up an automatic monthly contribution, or go there and make an occasional contribution. If you prefer to support us through the mail, you'll find our mailing address there at WVWFoundation.com. You can also call and make your contribution over the phone by calling 901-825-0652. That's 901-825-0652. Again, all these details are available at WVWFoundation.com. Thank you for your support as we try to help people around the world understand the times through the lens of a Christian worldview.